about this muscle here?
That's the lateral to
Exactly. And what about down here?
medial here.
What's the nerve supply of these two muscles? The muscles of mastication, so what's the nerve supply of the muscles?
V3.
V3, right? Right. What about this muscle?
That's the
Posterior belly, digastric,
Okay. And what about this one?
That's
stylohyoid,
stylohyoid.
What's the nerve supply? For both of them.
Facial.
Facial, yeah. Exactly.
What
So the
branch of
facial-
facial?
The facial nerve exits this foramen, which is called what? Stylohyoid foramen. So here's the facial nerve. It's going to give you a couple of branches. One is the posterior auricular, and then it's going to give you a couple of muscular branches to these two muscles. I don't think they have a name specifically. And then it's going to take a turn and go through the parotid gland and then divide into the 5 branches that you know. Right? Let's see. What is this nerve?
accessory,
Spinal accessory. And that supplies for 2 muscles.
SCM,
trapezius.
traps,
And the trapezius, right? What about this?
Or that's a common carotid.
Common carotid. This one.
Internal carotid.
And this one.
External
And what is this bulge? Bulge in here.
carotid sinus.
Function.
baroreceptor,
Baroreceptor.
measured blood pressure,
And what's the counterpart that we can't really see here?
The body.
Chemoreceptor carotid body, right? Chemoreceptor for what?
oxygen and
CO2, CO2. So what about this guy? What is it picking up?
Changes in pressure.
blood pressure,
Cardiac pressure, right? What about this?
Jugular.
vein,
Internal.
Jugular. And what's this?
It's the submandibular gland.
Submandibular gland. The green stuff is
submandibular duct,
submandibular duct or duct or Wharton's duct. Let's see. What about this nerve?
That is the inferior
alveoli,
Inferior alveolar nerve. And what about this one here?
It's a lingual.
Lingual nerve. And what about this?
That is the preauricular.
It's hitching a right on the
tympanic
lingual
membrane,
nerve to go to the
Chordae tympani.
chordae tympani. So the chordae tympani is a branch of the facial inside the canal, facial canal.
And it comes
It's
out
gonna come
before
out.
the
It's going to
parotid.
hitch a right on the lingual. It's going to reach the tongue, and it's going to pick up special sensorium taste from the anterior 2/3 of the tongue. And it's going to take it to the taste areas of the brain. All right. Let's see. This is the buccal branch, the trigeminal from B3. Okay. It's going to supply against some of these muscles of mastication. What's another muscle of mastication that's not here?
masseter,
Masseter, nerve supply.
Masseter.
masseter's V3,
B3. What about the temporalis?
V3,
B3 as well. The temporal nerve. What about this nerve? It's kind of off, but nonetheless,
hypoglossal,
hypoglossal. Didn't hear you. Normally, you can see it hanging around the common tendon of the digastric. Again, going to the tongue to supply muscles of the tongue, all the extrinsic muscles of the tongue. What muscle is this?
The
mylohyoid,
Mylohyoid nerve supply.
good question,
is it the cervix?
C1. Nerve to the mylohyoid from B3. What's the nerve supply to this other muscle down here, this belly? The anterior belly of the digastric. Nerve to the mylohyoid as well. So the anterior belly of the digastric is nerve to the mylohyoid, and the posterior belly of the digastric is facial. So this is B3, facial. Trigeminal, facial. All the same. Okay. What muscle is
Geniohyoid.
geniohyoid,
geniohyoid is right here.
genioglossal,
Genioglossal. What about these guys up here? Intrinsic muscles of the tongue. Okay, so this is all hypoglossal. Not the mylohyoid. What about this?
tonsillar.
Lingual tonsil. Pharyngeal tonsil. Or palatine tonsil, excuse me. This is pharyngeal.
Okay.
So you're going to do these later on, when they're here in our face. Okay?